Here is the story you requested. That feeling when someone is living rent-free in your mind, consuming your thoughts, draining your energy. We've all been there. Whether it's an ex who broke your heart, a friend who betrayed you, or a family member who continues to hurt you, emotional attachment to people who no longer serve your well-being can be one of life's most painful struggles. But what if I told you that an ancient philosophy practiced by Roman emperors and slaves alike holds the key to freeing yourself from this emotional prison? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring 6 powerful Stoic rules that can help you emotionally detach from someone who's taking up too much space in your mind and heart. Rule 1. Accept what you cannot control. The most fundamental principle in Stoicism is understanding what's within your control and what isn't. And here's the hard truth. You cannot control other people's actions, choices, or feelings toward you. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." When we obsess over someone, we're essentially trying to control the uncontrollable. We think, if only they would understand, if only they would change, if only they would come back. But here's your first step toward emotional freedom. Accept completely that you cannot control them. The only thing you can control is your response. Try this visualization. Imagine placing that person and all their actions into a box labeled, "Things outside my control." Now, turn your attention to the box labeled, "Things within my control," your thoughts, judgments, and actions. Rule 2. Practice negative visualization. The Stoics practiced an exercise called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. In your case, this means visualizing life without this person completely. This might sound painful, but it's actually liberating. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." The flip side of this wisdom is accepting when fate separates you from someone. Try this exercise. Set aside 5 minutes to imagine your life 1 year from now having completely moved on from this person. Visualize yourself thriving, at peace, perhaps even grateful for the lessons learned. When you mentally rehearse a future without them, you begin creating that reality now. Rule 3. Focus on virtue, not attachment. The Stoics believed that virtue was the only true good. Everything else, including relationships, was classified as preferred indifference. Nice to have, but not essential for a good life. Now, I'm not saying relationships aren't important, but attaching your well-being to specific people is a recipe for suffering. Instead, focus on cultivating the 4 Stoic virtues in your response to this situation. Wisdom, seeing the situation clearly without distortion. Justice, treating the person fairly despite your pain. Courage, facing the discomfort of detachment. Temperance, moderating your emotional reactions. Ask yourself, how would the wisest version of myself handle this situation? Then act accordingly, not based on attachment, but on virtue. Rule 4. Remember that people act according to their nature. One of the most powerful Stoic insights comes from Marcus Aurelius. When you are offended at anyone's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. The Stoics understood that people act according to their nature and understanding. If someone hurt you, betrayed you, or left you, they were simply acting in accordance with their beliefs, history, and character. This doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but understanding this truth helps you detach because you realize their actions weren't really about you. Expecting them to act differently is like expecting a cat to bark. The next time thoughts of this person trigger emotional pain, remind yourself, they acted according to their nature, not mine. Rule 5. Practice mindfulness of your thoughts. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, wrote Marcus Aurelius. When we're emotionally attached to someone, our thoughts about them often run on autopilot. We replay conversations, imagine scenarios, and ruminate on what went wrong. The Stoics practiced mindful awareness of thoughts, observing them without judgment and without being consumed by them. Try this practice. When thoughts of this person arise, don't fight them. Instead, notice them with curiosity. I'm having a thought about person. Then, gently return your attention to the present moment. Over time, you'll find these thoughts lose their emotional charge. You're no longer being pulled along by the current of thoughts. You're watching from the riverbank. Rule 6. Create a new life narrative. Seneca wrote, "Life is long if you know how to use it." The final Stoic rule for emotional detachment is creating a new life narrative that isn't centered around this person or the relationship. The Stoics understood that our lives are shaped by the stories we tell ourselves. When we're attached to someone, they often become the main character in our story. It's time to write a new story, one where you are the protagonist, and this person is simply a character who taught you important lessons along the way. Ask yourself, what strengths have I discovered through this experience? What have I learned about myself and what I need? What new opportunities are available to me now? This isn't about denying pain. It's about finding meaning in it and using it as a foundation for growth. Emotional detachment isn't about becoming cold or uncaring. It's about loving and caring, without being controlled by your attachments. As Epictetus said, freedom is not achieved by satisfying desire, but by eliminating it. These 6 Stoic rules won't magically erase your feelings overnight. Detachment is a practice, something you build day by day, thought by thought. The journey begins with a simple choice. Will you continue to give this person power over your inner state, or will you reclaim that power for yourself? Which of these rules resonated most with you? Let me know in the comments below. If you found value in this video, remember that knowledge without action is just entertainment. Choose one rule to practice today. Until next time, remember what Marcus Aurelius said. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking.